Hi guys, so here's a quick tutorial on the basics of Illustrator. So let's just go ahead and jump right to it. So we're gonna open Adobe Illustrator right here. And so right here, if you're not very familiar, I'm just gonna walk through on how to set up a new file. So right here on your left side, you have all of these controls, and right here you just click on create new, and this window pops out. And then right here you have some templates already available for you. So right here on width and height, here just kind of like the measurements that you want for your page, for your artboard. That's how you call it right here in Illustrator, an artboard. Then let's say, I don't know, let's just say an 11 by 17. Then the orientation, you know, by default it just applies to a portrait, but if you want to do landscape, then you can do landscape. And make sure it's in inches right here. You just put the number of artboards that you want to work on. So let's just say we want 4 of them. Here are some advanced options. I'm not really too familiar with what that is, so we're just gonna leave it, you know, by the defaults and everything, and we just click on create. And then right here you have 4 of your artboards, 11 by 17s. So the basics on how to navigate Illustrator, you click Alt, and through the scrolling of your mouse, that's zoom in and out. Yes. And then if you press spacebar and then you left click, that's how you pan through your workspace. Control and the scroll of your mouse, that only moves side to side. That's basically how you navigate through Illustrator. So right here, working with guides, you really want to work with guides. So right here where it says ruler and grids, this little symbol are your rulers. Drag your cursor to one of the corners, and then you just click and drag. There you have your first guide. You use those when you're doing projects and you want everything to be aligned. And then right here where it says guides, there you have some options. Right here is hide guides, unlock guides, and smart guides. To kind of have your margins. That's how you set all of your margins, so all of your pages are consistent and look a little bit more clean. And then right here you have, you know, you can show your grid. I don't really use that because it's a little bit confusing and it might look a little bit like a mess, so I really don't have that on. And then the transparency color, that's just that kind of looks alike with how your Photoshop workspace looks. But again, it looks a little bit messy, so I don't really use it. And then, so that's your properties panel. Then your document setup. That's very important. If you want to change or add new artboards, you could just click right here where it says quick actions, right here, document setup. And then right here, you can just put edit artboards, and then again with Alt and left click and drag. That's how you get a new artboard. You might want to have your Essentials Classic, so you want to make sure that all of your options are under this option. Right here, I already have it selected. And then right here to your right side, you have your panels. This option is very important. Your layers, I have to make an emphasis on this because when you're working on Illustrator, you really want to try to make layers. If you double click on it, you can just change the name of your layer. This is the button where you create another layer. This is how you delete a layer. Then this is to add another sub layer. So when you're working on a project, please do yourself a favor and have layers. That's really important, and your life will be so much easier if you use layers. And then right here on your left bar, you have all of your tools that you can use. So I'm just gonna take you through the most basic ones. How to make lines. Right here, this is the line segment tool. So we want to click on that one. And if you click and drag and then press shift, it just draws a straight line. And then you just let it go, and then there you have your line. And then there, if you can see, it's a very thin line, but over here, as we select the line, all of these tools appear up here of your screen. So right here, here's the stroke. The stroke is basically the thickness of a line. So we can do a very something very dramatic, like an 8 point. So that's a very thick one. And then we can do, I'm just gonna make a copy right here, and you do a copy by Alt and selecting what you want, and then just dragging it. And then there we go. I'm just gonna make another copy, and then here we can do, I don't know, 0.25. And so these kinds of lines, the difference in each one could be very adequate for when you're doing floor plans, when you want to differentiate your priorities in your floor plan. So for example, I don't know, this one, the thicker line, let's just put it at 2. At 2, it's your, I don't know, let's say your walls. And then the 1 or 0.75, that could be the lightest line could be your furniture, which is, I don't know, that in the list of priorities is not your top priority, your furniture, when you're drawing floor plans. Right here, if you can control also the opacity of the line. So right here we have 100%, so we can lower it. And right here, if we click on stroke, right here on the word, this little panel appears. And if you want to do different line weights, we can do a dash line. And then right here, this kind of appears. So that's a 6 and 6. You honestly just can't play around with the numbers that you put in. And then if you want a dotted line, so honestly I don't know like what this depends on, but you can just play around with the numbers that you put in, and then up until where you get a dotted line. Then this one, we can make it a dash line. So those are our line types: a dotted line, a dash line, and a solid line. This is a tool, the type tool, so we just click on it on the icon right here, or you can use the tool, the T, and then you just draw your text box. And then right here, some text already appears as a default. So right here, it appears when we select the text box, all of these tools appear up top part of your screen. And then over here, if you look right here at the character, you can choose your font. We select all of the text. For some of the fonts, there's some options, maybe regular, bold, some other have italic, bold, stuff like that. And then, but it's up to you if you want to edit it. Let's just put it bold. And then right here, besides it, we have the size of the font. Right here, we have a paragraph, which is kind of how you want your text to lie on your artboard. And then right here, if we go back to character, this little panel comes out, and then there's a little bit of things that you can do with this part. So right here is kind of like the space in between each row, I guess, each line. So you can do, I don't know, very close, like a 6 point, or very apart, like a 72. And then right here is kind of like the space in between each letter. Another text box, what we can do, we go to character, and then to change the space in between each letter, if you notice, it kind of changes. They grow apart. And then you can also change your letters. You can put all caps or small caps. And then this is kind of the rotation of your text. So if you want, to rotate it for some reason, you can do like a 30-degree angle. We're gonna draw a shape right here with the rectangle tool, which is this one. A quick command is the letter M on your keyboard. When you want to select something, you always go to the selection tool or a V on your keyboard, where you control all of your colors. So if you double click on the square, then we can see we can change the colors that you want. And then if you click the stroke, that's the outline of the shape in this situation. And then you can change the size of your stroke. So there you have it. You can do a dash line also in the shape. When you want to do a polygon tool, you just click on it and then just click anywhere on your artboard. And then here where it says sides, you can just put the sides that you want for your polygon. And because we already have this colors selected, that's why your shape will, so it'll adapt to what your options are set right here. And with that, I finished this video. Thank you so much for watching and see you later.